Hola Madridistas, welcome to Club Football yet again after what feels like a really depressing week. With the news surrounding our star man being slandered in the media. We don't know who's behind it. There's still a lot of conspiracies going on, and there are still doubts that have yet to be answered. From our performances in the Champions League, from our league performances. Of course, we're missing one of our most important players, Carvajal, out with a long-term injury. It's not looking good, but let's break it down and hopefully, let's talk about things that can make this team better. But before all of that, we have to, break down the preview as we are gonna travel away to Celta this weekend, and then Dortmund will come knocking towards next week. But before we get into all of that, this episode is actually sponsored by the good old Manscaped, the pioneers in male grooming and personal fashion. So if you're planning to get some supplies like shampoos, beard products, or anything else, head on over to manscaped.com and use code LBR20 for 20% off and free shipping. It's a great way to help out the channel and keep this going. So yeah, man, Farouk, let's get into it.
Yeah, bro. I mean, you literally summarized everything. It's not the best of times. Right now, considering the form of the team and lack thereof as well. So it's quite interesting, and we have a very important stretch starting at the weekend. When we travel to Celta, and then the midweek and the weekend after that. So it's looking quite interesting, and you could say this could be the beginning of the season, if everything goes well this week, or it could also be, maybe the week we look back to and be like, okay, this was where everything was lost, So it's gonna be quite an important, couple of games both in the league and in Europe as well. But yeah,
Man, Farouk, I'm actually surprised to hear that these words from you because you're the guy who always says, "Man, the league, UCL, they're not won in November or September. It's in
yeah,
January
but
that
the point is,
the
the,
league
the
is won."
point is like if of course you win these games, but the point is like you have a 3 pointer against Barcelona in the next week, because what you always evaluate is that, okay, if I play to my best, I can defeat anyone, right? So the point is, if you literally lose the 3 points at home to the person you're chasing, like, I don't know, they call the game 6 pointers, or what they call this kind of head-to-head game. So like basically, if you lose these 3 points, it's something that you cannot reclaim. So now you're expecting someone to do you a favor. But generally, like, the rule of thumb is like, you do your job, it generally will be enough. So by not beating Barcelona, you're basically not doing your job.
Yep.
And then when you put everything into perspective as well, it's like you lose Dani Carvajal, and your replacement is who? It's Lucas Vasquez. With all due respect from Lucas Vasquez, like, he can do a job to a certain extent. But I don't see people trembling that, oh God, we're gonna face Lucas Vasquez again. So this is the thing. Like, you're gonna play literally almost, I think, 30 games, 29 games with Lucas Vasquez as your starting right back. Like, that's quite interesting already, considering the fact that the defense has been shitty. you know so it's not looking peak, honestly. But again, while leagues are not won, I do feel like this can be a time that I'm not saying we're going to lose the league or win anything right now. I'm just saying, like, it might be, we might pin, like, when you reviewing the season, you might look back at this stretch of games from now until the first week of December and be like, okay, this is where shit happened.
Yeah. Sunil is in the chat as well. He agrees. He says this month is going to be so crucial for the season. Yeah. Especially if I wouldn't say if we maybe lose against Dortmund as well. Do you think it might be time to panic in the UEFA Champions League?
I mean, you have to play 8 games, right? So you just have
Yeah.
to, if you win four, you're basically in the, what's it called, in the playoffs. So I think that should be enough. So, but the point is, like, of course, you don't want to be in the playoff. You want to go directly to the stuff. So, like, because the thing is, like, if you don't win against Dortmund, then you host AC Milan, then you go to Anfield, and then after that you play Atalanta. That it's a wild card. You don't know what to expect with them. You understand? So, like, you don't have, like, if you don't win at Dortmund, like, if you don't win against Dortmund, then you're having less room for wiggling around. Because the point is, like, it's Liverpool right now. We don't know what Liverpool is like. Okay, like, Liverpool is not a team that gives me fear, but yeah, like, it's not like we're playing good as well. Because when we highlight what it is, like, we're coming into this game off of the back of one win in 3 games, and that win came at the Bernabeu against Villarreal, albeit having to score two worldies.
Yeah.
So like it's not like we like are coming off okay, even if like the last game we won here, but we won based on individual brilliance. And like I mean individual brilliance that okay, if they repeat those shots, they don't make those shots.
Yeah,
So like this is the thing. Like, so it's not like we're coming in full of confidence and stuff like that. So and then again, because Modric is in and out of the team, the captain on the field is Dani Carvajal is also out of the season. So it's not looking it's not the best of stuff. So like I think both the Champions League as well we need to get back to winning ways because I think it's just been 2 games now, right? This is the third game for
yep.
Champions League,
Dortmund
right?
is going to be match day 3.
Exactly. So it's important, to get back to winning ways because like if you are after 3 games, like you only will have 1 victory. So I think there's going to be a lot of question marks there.
Absolutely, man. Considering that we do have some decent opponents in the Champions League, do you still think El Clasico is probably the hardest match in this month?
Honestly, I think Anfield could be the hardest one because I don't know honestly what we're looking like. So this is the thing. It could be a very because the point is like Liverpool wingers right now are flying really high, both Salah and Luis Diaz.
Yeah,
So it might be a very, it might be a very long evening for the fullbacks, considering at least what I felt I saw with Mendy in the last game against Villarreal, because I felt like he could not hold his own down against. I forgot who was the name of the winger, but anyways, he could not hold his own down against him. So it could be quite interesting. But Barcelona, yeah, I think whether you like it or not, like if there's Barcelona on the list and it's the Clasico, it's always going to be the most important game.
absolutely, man. For me, it's like I wouldn't. Yeah, it will be devastating if we actually lose to Barcelona after like a long time in the league. It's not just about that. I just want this month to go well, our attack to click. I just want to see some results, man. Just some positive play, even if we are not in the best position in the UCL or the league. I feel like if this month we can actually learn how to play as a team, then we can like be confidently heading into
Exactly.
the rest of the season.
That's the thing. That's the thing. You're saying you want the attack to click. It's not like the defense and the midfield is clicking that the attack is not clicking. Like
Yeah,
everything is absolute shit. It's just heroes and like we have a team of 11 players or at least maybe 8 or 9 players that are really really good at what they do. So you're able to mask something here and there. But the point is that the team is not clicking in any sense, defensively, offensively. There is no clicking. So we need the team to click. That's just the first and foremost thing. Honestly, we need the team to click, and then from there we can move on. But again, that's the thing. One thing that you always know about, like when you go to big games, is that even if you don't click as a team, individual brilliance can pull you through. You know, but the problem that usually face is when you face people like, for example, now you go to the Balados and like you face Celta. If the team doesn't click, you most likely don't come out with points there. You know, okay, unless if you're gonna have like as we discussed earlier, like if you're gonna have like 2 Worldies from your players, then okay, yeah. But like like this games like the El Clasicos, the games at Anfield and stuff like this, like it's like this is what big players are made of. Like this is what they are made for. Rather, like they are made for this kind of moments. The question is, okay, what happens when you go to the island in Mallorca? This is the question. The question is, okay, what happens when you play Girona, when you play Alaves? Like these are the things, like, and this is what at least since I've been watching Real Madrid, this has been the Achilles heel. It's not about losing to Barcelona or losing to Liverpool. It's about the fact that we cannot handle business when we are supposed to handle them.
yeah, that's very true.
This is the thing.
And it's always Barcelona, man. It's always Barcelona. We just somehow can't capitalize on their mistakes.
Yeah, bro. It's. I mean, the thing is, like, if you look at it, like, even as I said, like, historical, we know that Barcelona, no matter how bad or whatever they are, they know they have a way to like find a certain consistency in the league. Like they know how they have a way to like find a way to win those games that you would expect them to win one way or another. So this is the thing. But for us, it's just it's really different. And I mean, it's fine. It's not a big deal. Like, I mean, we're still the most successful team in Spain and in the world. So like this is it's not a big deal. It's still a way to do stuff. But just like right now, the thing about that is like it's when you don't win that you start to highlight these things. When you win, like no one really cares about all these little stories that is there or not there. It's when it's not happening that everything. People start to have like oh yeah, but there is this, there is that. Now, I mean, when you win, no one really cares. So this is the thing. So, well, it's Real Madrid, man. Like it's a team that's full of world class international players. So I think eventually we will figure a way. The players will find a way. Honestly, because I don't. Everyone knows my stand. I don't think the coaching staff has enough, know how to find a way. But I think the players will find a way.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Actually, speaking of um, our team not clicking, not really finding their way, Do you think, a lot of fingers are being pointed at the fact that, some of our players, they're a bit too selfish. They're not maybe getting along together. Do you think it's probably like a hostile, like comparing the last 3 years, maybe this is like the worst dressing room in terms of egos and whatnot? Do you actually think that?
Bro, okay, yeah, for the last 3 years, maybe, but I don't know, man. I think definitely I mean, for at least for someone who is my age, I can never come here and tell you that there is the worst dressing room. I mean, we had a team that had Cristiano Ronaldo, Sergio Ramos, Iker Casillas, Marcelo. I mean, Mesut Ozil, what are people talking about?
Yeah,
I mean, this these guys they're not even kids, bro. They're like unborn children compared to those guys, bro. They're still in their mommy's bellies, man. I mean,
yeah,
whatever Mbappe thinks he is, like he's not. I mean, he's a shoe shiner for Cristiano, man. He's a shoe shiner for Cristiano. Whatever the fuck he thinks he is, he's a shoe shiner for Cristiano. That's the thing. So it's not about that. And I think again, like similar to Cristiano and Gareth Bale and Karim Benzema and Gonzalo Higuain and all those guys, everyone wants to win. Of course, everyone has an ego, but eventually everyone wants to win.
yeah,
You don't have to be better. We saw this. Benzema, Bale, and Cristiano, arguably the best trident in the history of football. They weren't friends, but they got business done. No one cares about that.
absolutely, man.
So like
So,
it doesn't happen.
so
It's not
it's
about.
just it's just a matter of like, since things are not going well, we fans look for something to blame. So that's probably
Like,
why
that's
we're talking
that's
about.
the thing. I mean, when things don't go, you start to like nitpick and find this. You need to start to like find things and shit like that. But it's not that. It's. I don't think it's that, honestly. I definitely, because eventually, like, all these guys are professionals and they want to win.
Absolutely.
If anything, honestly, like, I am against all this, camaraderie that you find with, like, oh, Vinny's going on holiday with Kamavinga. And no, bro, I don't want to be friends with you, man. We are colleagues. Yeah, we have a goal, win the game. Bye bye, ciao, ciao. I don't want to discuss with you, bro. I
Hey
don't want,
Farooq, like
because
stop projecting your
you
hostile
know,
workspace to our team,
you
man.
need, when you go to work, you need to be able to hold people responsible objectively. When you start bodying up with people, then you kind of have, like, a subjective feeling towards holding people responsible. I mean, okay, I'm not saying it's not good. Of course, it's good if you get along with people that you work with. Of course, it's good if you become friends with them. But I'm just saying to you that, okay, Cristiano wasn't friend with a lot of people as well, but he could tell them to get the job done. Sergio Ramos wasn't friends with a lot of people, but he could tell them to get the job done. Iker Casillas wasn't friend with a lot of people. He could tell them to get the job done. You understand? But the point I'm trying to make now is that, do you think Vinicius will go and shout at Kamavinga that, bro, what the fuck are you doing? No, it's not gonna happen. Likewise, Kamavinga will not do the same for him. So it's what I'm just trying to point here is, like, when you create the bromance and everything, then, like, there is, I don't know, like, accountability becomes just, and especially when we also have a leadership forward in the team as well, because honestly, there
Yeah,
is a leadership in the team right now as well. So all of this is like, it's just a bit up and down. But as you rightly pointed, now things are not going as we want. That's why we're talking about all these minor things that are actually irrelevant.
yeah. I would actually like to read out Sunit's comment here. So this is for you, Farooq. Bro, Farooq, Carlo is all about the power of friendship. What are you talking about?
I mean, Carlo also won with Cristiano in the first stint as well now. So I mean, that's the thing about Carlo, is that he's a very flexible person. But I just think like Carlo now is like at the tail end of his career, and it's normal. I mean, I will never ask someone like who is like, I mean, it's like going and asking your professor to like start doing research. Bro, the man has done his research and he has done everything. He has nothing to prove. Now he's just there to guide people. But I'm not expecting him to create, someone who is 60, 65 years old to, create something absolutely new. Like, he has to, give the reins to people below him to do so. So that's the thing. Like, Carlo in the past was I don't know how to put it. Was like very, someone that, like someone that could, lead a young generation of players. We saw that with Milan, we saw that with Chelsea, we saw that with Real Madrid. And but now the point is that I just feel like right now, like, Carlo is someone who is there to like have people who know what to do and just throw them in the best possible conditions. Like, to give them a thriving environment.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know if that makes sense. But I
It's
feel
not
like in
it's not
when
like he's trying to overhaul a team or like shape them up to be champions.
exactly,
This team is already champions. He just needs
exactly,
to continue the status quo.
it just needs to like give them a platform to thrive. So this is the point. But the issue right now is that that platform doesn't seem like it's showing itself now right now.
Yeah, yeah. Completely agree. I mean, okay, since we're already on this topic, and I'd just like to get rid of this or just talk about it before like heading into the Celta preview. We spoke about professionality, right? These guys might not be holding each other accountable and whatnot. What do you actually make of, the Mbappe situation? It's not like he's being unprofessional towards Real Madrid. He's actually being kind of unprofessional towards France, would you say?
No, I don't think so. Definitely not. The point is, Jacob, like, okay, these people might be superstars and they earn a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
If today you're not, if next week you're not called into work, what would you do? Would you go to the office and sit on the table and not work because, okay, you don't want to disrespect them? Bro, you would find the next available bus or flight or train or ship to the next available destination you can afford. This is the thing.
Yeah.
This is just he did what everyone will do, what I did normally, what you do normally. So there is nothing there. Like he's him going to Sweden, bro. The man wasn't called up. What the fuck do you want him to do? Go to France and sit down and fold his hands?
Yeah.
Why? I mean, he's a young man. He's not like, bro. I mean, he's young. He's unmarried. Of course, he has to enjoy life, bro. What's the? I mean, when he gets married and has children, then yeah, of course, his responsibilities will change. But I just find like there is. But then that's the thing, like if you're big enough, like whatever you do, like you just cannot please, people. Like if you do this, it's a problem. If you don't do this, it's a problem. So this is just the thing. So I
Yeah.
don't think he was disrespectful to France or anything. He went, he had his fun, just like anybody who has a bit of money in their pocket will do. This is just it. But then, yeah, people hold them to different standards. I literally have zero problem with that, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. Like, if it was one of my mates, it's completely understandable. But I think where people are coming from is they are used to people like Cristiano, like Haaland. These guys just don't go out and party this way, right? So they're expecting an AI or robot in place of Mbappe. But Mbappe is not really that guy. He likes to have a bit of fun.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's it. It's having a bit of fun, not at the expense of anyone.
Yeah.
No, okay, like I don't know if you remember, there was an instance when like Chouameni was injured, and rather than being at the game, he was going to a NBA game in Paris and shit like that.
Yeah.
That's something different. But for this, like you're literally given a vacation by your club because the country didn't call you up.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's something different. I really don't know like what people expect, but as you said, like people, like rightfully or wrongfully hold them to certain standards. But for me, I just feel like he was on vacation. They didn't call him up. If they had said that, okay, why he faked an injury or something like that, I don't know what was the case between this. But he came back after the squad had been announced. So this is just the thing. He came back after the squad had been announced. It's not like he played and like then said he was injured. No, they announced the squad. He came back and then he's not in the squad. Real Madrid gave him a holiday. He went for his holiday. Simple. Full stop. Nothing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, the elephant in the room is still there, like the rape allegations and whatnot. But I don't think we should be really talking about it until like actual news reporting comes out instead of Daily Mail reporting on it. The news was actually broken out by RMC. Like, do you believe in the conspiracy? Do you think PSG is behind this?
Bro, like this is a very sensitive thing, honestly. So I will just say, let's reserve any comments or anything before, you have more information. Because I mean, these things are really, really, like yeah, it's just the same. Because we've seen with players what happens or not. Like, I mean, we give an example of Gylfi Sigurdsson right now. Like everyone accused him of rape or child molestation, and they said it was untrue.
Yeah.
But no one knows that because why? Like you just saw Gylfi Sigurdsson, it goes to something else, and he's there playing football where God knows who, how, when. So I think it's really important. On the other hand, we have people like Mason Greenwood who like as clear as daylight, bro. As clear as there is no element of doubt anywhere. And then he's still there playing for Marseille, and everyone is chanting his name in the stadiums. So I feel like this is something that's very sensitive. Like until the more information is available, it's unfair to everyone involved to make comments or anything. But of course, like sexual assault is nothing to be taken lightly. And if Kylian Mbappe is found guilty, I do hope that the power of the law comes on him very heavily. And if he's found not guilty as well, I hope he sues the shit out of the people who do that.
Yeah, man. I
Like
really hope that's the case.
sue them for like billions of dollars in the sense that they cannot pay, they file bankruptcy and they go to jail to repay the amount of money, that kind of shit. So that I mean, come on, like it's not something, man. Like, well, yeah, like I said, let's just it's a very sensitive topic, so let's just refrain from discussing that.
Yeah, totally agree. In this case, I just want to hope for the best. Hope he gets his name cleared and the perpetrators be arrested. But yeah, man, enough of depressing topics. Let's actually head into the Celta game. So they're ninth in the league, just 4 points below third position, actually. So not a lot of difference from us. They're actually very strong at home. I actually caught their home game against Atleti, where they absolutely almost destroyed Atleti in the first half, and even in the second half, Atleti were really pinned back, but then finally, Julian Alvarez actually saved them. So that's the only context I have with Celta Vigo. I really liked how they play. Their young midfield. It's almost like the average age of their whole midfield is like 20, 22 or something.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But like
Also,
they
they
also
got
do.
guy in the summer as well, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Rafa Benitez.
they did, yeah. And it's just up top. They have veterans up top, so I feel like this team has a good balance. They could definitely finish top of the top half of the league at least. That's what I'm thinking. Have you
Yeah,
heard?
I definitely think so as well. Like, and if I'm not wrong, I think like Aspas has also like regained form, and he's back to almost his best. I think he's 38, 37, or whatever the number is right now. Like
Yeah,
he's also
just
like
slightly
you
younger than
mentioned.
Luka Modric. Just imagine, man. Like
Exactly. Exactly.
that stood out for me. Like he had to run. So one of the midfielders in the Atletico game actually put him through on goal, and then he had to run all the way from halfway. He almost made it. Like he was on par with the defender until like the last moment when the Athletic defender was able to clear. So he still has it in his locker to put in a decent performance, and like the whole offense from just the context of that game just flowed through him. He's the end all and be all for like the creativity in their attack.
Yeah, but the good thing about that is like Aspas is suspended for the game because I think he got a red card at the end of the last game, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh
I
wow.
remember that.
I did not catch
Because
that.
I didn't watch the game, but like, it was quite interesting because I think two players got red cards in like towards the end of the game. Some or two or three players I can't recall, but like it was something that was there already. Then everyone was talking about that as well. So it's quite interesting. But well, it still doesn't take that away because as you mentioned, they have veterans off top like in Borja Iglesias as well. So like he's a player, he's a seasoned La Liga player. He knows what it is and what it is not. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how we can cope against them, and also considering the fact that they've also been quite high goal scorers as well. I think only Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Villarreal has scored more goals in the league than they have. And as you mentioned, like they're very good home form and our shitty away form. So all that coupled together, it makes for a very tantalizing game at the weekend, honestly. So it's gonna be interesting to see when you consider also like they play five at the back as well. Well, although they play five at the back, like Oscar Minguez actually has 4 assists and 2 goals this season. I
Yeah,
don't know if you remember the name Oscar Minguez. He was a
I
centre back
do.
for
Yeah,
Barcelona.
I remember Marcos Alonso as well. Like he's playing out of the skin too, putting in some decent crosses.
Yeah, actually, because I was just, like just before we started, I was just checking, and Mingueza has 4 assists. 4 assists, bro. I mean, that's a centre back who became a fullback, bro. And
Yeah.
then when we talk about like Mendy having zero through balls, people be like, you're ungrateful and shit like that. By when I mean people, I'm saying Sunate specifically. Let's yeah, so it's quite interesting. But I think it's gonna be like crucial how we deal with them because as you mentioned right now, it's about the crosses that comes in because like they have a very big man in Borja Iglesias up top, so like he's a really big man, and also I think they have this. I don't know if he's Swedish or Norwegian. Like they have this North European guy as well, who is also a very big guy.
Yep.
So could be could be a rain of crosses, and if we're not, let's not forget the height of Lucas Vasquez as well. He's not Carvajal wasn't too tall, but Lucas Vasquez isn't also something to write home about. So it could be a nightmare for him defending against those guys. But let's see, man. I mean,
Yeah, I
eventually,
mean,
I do hope.
just hearing you say all of this, like it gets my anxiety up. I feel like this is going to be more of a banana skin than the Dortmund game.
Oh, definitely, bro. Like if you're thinking we're gonna have I mean, Dortmund comes to Spain, right? If I'm not mistaken, like
Yep.
Dortmund comes to Spain, and the point is like, okay, like Nuri Sahin's got them playing well and all that, but I do feel like coming to the Bernabeu, like whenever we go back to the Bernabeu, like we always have that cushion of being able to do something. Is the issue has been like if we go away this season, like we almost just forget about how to play, and that was more evident in the game against Lille as well, in France. Like it was really strange. So yeah, I do think this is not going to be very straightforward, man. Although like we have, for the past 10 years, we have been really successful against them. I just feel like it's not going to be that straightforward.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's actually head into the ad break and then continue with talking about the Real Madrid lineups, predictions, and whatnot. But yeah, Doris, take it away.
Hola Madridistas, I'm back once again to remind you if you're ever looking for a way to support us, please do so and go to manscaped.com, use our code LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping. That's code LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping. Check out these thick silicone bristles. They are 100% antibacterial, no more germs hiding on your head. The bristles gently exfoliate your scalp, and the product helps reduce flaking caused by dry skin and buildup. One of the coolest features is that it helps stimulate blood flow to your hair follicles, and increased blood flow equals healthier hair. And trust me, I know I have a lot of it. Bristles also enhance shampoo penetration for more foam and less product, and with that you can also pair the 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner from Manscaped for the ultimate hair care routine. And this is a pretty big sizable thing, and let's not forget the relaxing massage that it provides after a long day. Using this feels like a mini spa treatment. It's a great way to unwind while taking good care of your scalp. So yeah, go to manscaped.com, use our code LBR20 at checkout to get 20% off and free shipping. That's code LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping.
We are back, folks. Let's quickly get into the Real Madrid lineups, man. So obviously, we're gonna have to replace Carvajal with Lucas Vasquez. Do you think we have any other alternatives? Do you think Carlo will try someone else?
I think we might see Militao from game to game, but for now it's Lucas Vasquez's position to lose, depending on how he performs across the this stretch of games that we talked about, from now until the end of next month. I think that will tell a lot. And I was just reading in the Athletic yesterday that Real Madrid made Trent Alexander-Arnold like a primary target for the summer. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens, because we know that like he can get pre-contracts with teams in January. That would be quite interesting if Real Madrid are looking, towards getting Trent. It's going to be, I think, quite a coup for Real Madrid, because the point is you don't have many other options. Another option that they mentioned with someone I liked a lot, but I think a lot of people do not share the same feeling, is Pedro Porro from Tottenham as well.
Yeah.
And he's Spanish as well, so he's a player, and he's also quite young, so I think he's a player that could be. But yeah, that's that's most likely till the summer. But I do think, depending on David Alaba's recovery and how Lucas Vasquez performs, I do think like we might be seeing Real Madrid delve into the market in the winter.
Oh, yeah.
But I do think we might see Militao as a fullback, with Chouameni dropping in as a centre back, and we don't know if push comes to shove. The utility man Fedeva already can be plugged in there as well. But God forbid, already it's not like we have quite a lot of midfielders right now that are performing. So, plugging Fede as a fullback also would be quite bad. But it's Carlo Ancelotti. You never can tell. Maybe you wake up tomorrow and Luka Modric plays as a fullback as well.
I mean, yeah, he has played almost in that position for a lot of his earlier years, but yeah, man, like that will be some sight to see. Like, imagine cramming in so many midfielders. Maybe even Kamavinga plays left back while Valverde plays right back. That would be a sight to see.
Well, the point is you don't have the feel. Okay, like Ceballos was back on
Ceballos, Modric, everyone has to play.
So basically, and then you put Chouameni also as a centre back. So then but then, and that's the thing, you don't have players anymore, because who is left? Jude, and then who? Jude, Arda Güler, Luka Modric. So actually, yeah, you still can have three midfielders.
Yeah, we can have a midfield FC.
Yeah, we can have, but that will be quite, that will be quite a sight to behold. But yeah, man, anyways, like, not to deviate from the point, I do think like the position is Lucas Vasquez for now to lose, because I think also he would be the captain when Luka Modric isn't on the pitch as well. So I think, yeah, he's basically going to replace Carvalho, both for the position on the pitch and also being the authority on the pitch as well.
Absolutely. All right. I guess, there's not going to be any surprises. We're going to still stick with Courtois until maybe the Copa del Rey games, or until like the UCL group stage is secured. There's no change there. The back line, we have absolutely no choice left. It's going to be Mendy, Militao, Rudiger. Do you see Mendy getting a bit of a rest? Maybe Fran Garcia comes on. Do you see that happening?
Nah, I don't see that, man. See that.
Yeah, it's such a crucial game, and then Carlo knows the Balados is not going to be easy. All right, you want to do the midfield then?
For the midfield, I think it's basically what we've seen in the past. With Chouameni anchoring the middle of the pitch, and we other at the base of the pitch, and then we have like Fede Valverde and Jude Bellingham flanking him on both sides. And I do think this is what we're gonna see, because I think we're gonna go with more attackers. I think we're gonna have a 3-man midfield this time around, and then we're gonna keep the players fresh for the midweek. I think we're gonna see other players when we play Dortmund in the Champions League. But a question I want to pose is is actually Courtois back? Because Courtois was missing in the last games.
He was. I read before the break that he should be back. I'm not sure if he was in training today.
Okay. Because I'm also not exactly sure about that, but I hope that he should be back, because Lunin has done well as well. You can't take away anything from Andrew Lunin, but it would be great if Silva can be back to play this position.
Yeah, man. And the other thing is so we're basically saying Camavinga is gonna be relegated to the bench until something happens or he proves otherwise. Well, what's
no? I mean, it's not about being relegated to the bench. It's about the fact that Camavinga is just coming back from an injury as well. He was out for 2 months or even more than that. So it's not it's not an easy injury to come back from. So I think gradually easing him back. Let's not forget he started in the game against Lille and France as well. So you ease him back into the team and try to see what it is. And of course, if you want to play with 2-man attackers, two attackers, so which is what I think is the future of this team. Of course, Camavinga gets back into the team as well.
Yeah, the future of this team. How can you say that? After Rodrigo has been the top man in the last few months.
It's not a bash on Rodrigo. The point is that we lost Toni Kroos, which is the balance of the midfield, and we added one more attacker, and that's not the way to go.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. We need to find that balance again in the middle of the park. So, of course, whether you like it or not, in my opinion, I do think whatever happens with the team is always going to be on Kylian Mbappe. He came, either he upsets the balance or he serves as the balance that is missing. So that's just the thing. So, but I think replacing Toni Kroos with another attacker does not work for this team. So I do think the future to get that balance will still be playing one more midfielder.
Yeah, I see that happening too. Yeah, man, I guess that leaves us with the attack. It's going to be Vinny, Rodrigo, and Mbappe. No surprises there. The thing I want to ask is, lately, maybe do you think Arda Güler's role has reduced a bit, from earlier on in the season when we had more injuries to our midfielders? Do you think going forward he's going to have more of a role?
I mean, Arda's role has improved a lot from last season. So this is just the discussion we can have. His role reducing after, 9 games, 10 games, it's difficult to discuss that. But one thing that everyone that has eyes have seen is that Arda gives something different to this team. Yep. In the game against Lille, when he came on, it was basically a shot to the arm, for the guys. And he brings very different things to the team. And also, I was watching the Turkish game as well. You watch that and you see the way Arda performs there. It's quite strange to see him, all off on the bench that much, but it's not like he's competing with garbage players as well. So they're world-class players that are ahead of him. But Arda will get his time. Arda will definitely get his time. So, but the thing is, one thing at least we can say is that Ancelotti gives him the time.
Yep.
Because what's happening is that last season he was basically not there, and now he's there in almost every game. Either starting and coming on in the 60th, 70th minute and stuff like that. Well, I've been really impressed with him, so that's just the thing. He just needs to keep doing what he's doing, and hopefully, it will happen in a larger scale for him as well.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I caught some highlights from the Turkish game as well, and I just got to say, it's just such a contrast with how he plays for us. I mean, Carlo just hasn't figured out how to use him properly.
Actually, because that's the thing. When they play for Turkey, they have 2 holding. So Turkey plays a 4-2-3-1. They have 2 holding midfielders, and basically they give Arda a free role, there. So that although like he has a number 8 jersey, like he basically just plays, he goes wherever he wants. Like, like the coach has just, Montel has given him just a free role for the team, and like this is not, at least for this stage in time, this is not something that's gonna happen at Real Madrid right now.
Yeah.
Like, okay, maybe with time across the next seasons or the seasons after that, maybe he might grow into that, for Real Madrid. But for right now, like, it's not just, it's different gravy, like Turkey and Real Madrid. So that's just it. Oh yeah, I do think like Arda is definitely going, somewhere.
Yeah, man, I totally agree. With that, I think we can head into the predictions now. You say?
Yeah, definitely, man. I actually predict a very, very difficult 2-1 victory for Real Madrid, man. Very difficult victory.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a 1-0. I feel like it's gonna be acting out in the same way Atletico played. Somehow we're gonna find the win from some lucky way, and then either if it's gonna be Lunin or Courtois, he's gonna have to come up with some big saves.
Yeah, because I do think honestly, like the miss of
Aspas.
what's it? Yeah, Iago Aspas is gonna be big. Also, like Eli Moriba is also out actually. So like these are two like key players for this guy. So I think they're gonna miss them both, at least for the offensive aspect of the game. So I do think maybe this might lead to, as you're saying, the 1-0 victory or not. But I just think like, yeah, we're all over the place right now. So it's still just gonna concede that one goal, and we find a way, to just grind through. Not very good looking, but yeah, just grinding through it all.
Yep, finding a way through. The name of the game. All right, folks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with us, Scott, Sunil in the comments, and all of you folks listening over in the audio platforms. What are you doing, guys? Come on, if you find the time to actually come over to live, you can see our faces. It'll be more interactive. It'll be a fun time. So if you were on the fence, just consider coming on for the next post match or the preview. And all the links are down in the description. So if you want to help out this channel, you can either go to the Fanatics link where you can score yourself a really nice Real Madrid jersey. It'll really help us out. Or head on over to Manscaped. You can buy a shampoo or whatnot. It'll just cost you like $10, but along with code LBR20, you can actually like really help us out, and we get to keep our sponsorship. And last but not the least, big shout out to Real Madrid committee for their support over on Instagram. Go check them out as well. And folks, until next time, Hala Madrid.
Hala Madrid.